I know it's almost Halloween and it's spooky season and I'm still in like pastel pink and this cozy, super cozy inner Sherpa, like this hoodie that's lined with faux Sherpa. It's okay. I'm a pink ghost or whatever. I don't know. Pink Halloween is the thing, right? Right? Barbie colors. There we go. There we go. I cannot get over just how cute this little ghosty mug is. And I'm just trying to show you just how cute this is. And this originally was actually a mug cake set. Yeah, it came with a pack of processed powder in which you can make some green cake, like green Frankenstein cake out of it. And I haven't eaten that yet. I honestly might just skip it because right now I'm trying to stay away from sugar, and this time you have no idea how committed I actually am this time. Right now I'm not having sugar. My original plan is to not have any sugar from Monday to Friday. And then on the weekend I can be a little relaxed. If I want to have a little snack, like some bubble tea or a bit of ice cream or like a slice of cake, then I totally can. And my original plan was to get that mug cake and eat that Frankenstein cake and just shove down all that green coloring down my throat and just enjoy the heck out of it and maybe make a cup of latte afterwards with whipped cream on top. But that's not why I started this vlog, because it's Halloween weekend-ish. And we're talking about ghosts. Let me just show you. That's a cute ass mug again. Oh, that was actually the other thing I wanted to show you. Ah, look at this. So cute. So cute. So cute. Speaking of ghosts, I actually wanted to give you a Oracle deck update on Way of the Panda Oracle because that's all I've been working on lately. And let me just turn the camera around so you can see what I mean. So I am working on a test deck for Way of the Panda Oracle so I could look through the cards as I'm working on the guidebook. So I'm still playing around with title placements and things like that. And this is low-key not a teaser. But anyway, since it's Halloween, I thought I would show you some of the pandas from this deck, namely the villains or the anti-heroes of this deck. You will learn more about them and their different missions and their divisions very soon. This deck has so much world, so much story, and so much character charisma in it, and I'm really excited to share it with you all. But today we're talking about the Ghost Panda. I would like for you to meet the Ghost Panda. Meet Ghost. As you can see, she doesn't want to meet anyone. I call her she, he, they sometimes. She doesn't really have a gender. They don't have a gender because they're just the archetypal ghost within us. And even though she is like this, she's crouching, she's hiding from the world, she is actually one of our protectors. And that's why she's called a villain, because sometimes she's very misunderstood. Right now, her Panda hero title is the Banisher of Painful Trials. I'm still workshopping that. That's not permanent. I don't know if that's gonna stay. It might stay, it might not, so don't get too fixated on it. I'm still workshopping it. Okay, it might change, and as the Banisher of Painful Trials, what she really is doing is that when there is a painful memory, when there is a painful experience, especially during our childhood, she is the one that disconnects us from our body. She's the one that dissociates. She's the one that pulls us away from that painful reality, because as a child, or even as adults sometimes, that we are not equipped to deal with that level of suffering. So that memory gets stored somewhere inside of us, somewhere far away, where we cannot reach. So this would be probably, you can call this the soul fragmentation. And that parts of us get tucked in, that wounded inner child, that lost self gets tucked away. They get banished from our consciousness. They get banished into our subconscious, to be precise. And then this is a temporary, although not healthy, but it is a temporary survival mechanism to keep us safe. And this is who Ghost is. I know that sounded super psychological, because it has roots in somatic therapy and nervous system and whatnot, but this is who she is. She is Ghost. That's her name. That's also her hero title. As you can see, she's hiding with her ghosties and her shadows, and she doesn't really want to deal with them, honestly, but she will lock them away for us. Even though she doesn't really want to deal with it, she will do it because she knows that this is the only way to keep you safe from experiencing that pain before you are ready. And this is part of her mission. Like, she doesn't really particularly enjoy this part, but she knows it's necessary. Like, all the villains in this deck, all the anti-heroes in this deck, they all have, like, this kind of, like, a bit of, like, dreaded mission, I guess. It's like they do it with a lot of purpose, but they also look, you don't want to do it. I mean, just look at her. Okay, and back to my face. I think this is one of the cards that are very near and dear to my heart, just because I have been a chronic dissociator. I've just regularly dissociated from my body. I regularly felt like I was drifting through the world and just restlessly, aimlessly. It's like I was there, but I really wasn't. It's like the reality, there's like the sense of unreality to it. Like the reality was not tangible. Like it was tangible, but it's as if that it was, it's like I couldn't really connect with the people around me. I couldn't really connect with the events that were happening. It's like I would know that I'm having some kind of reaction, but it wasn't until years later I learned that this is actually called dissociation. And I was dissociated, and this wasn't something that I knew at a time when Ghost was taking care of me, and she was keeping all that trauma, all that unprocessed pain and unresolved wound, just banishing them for now until I arrived at a point where I was capable and willing to address these things, was willing to meet them, meet my lost selves, reclaim my lost inner children, and actually talk to these ghosts, because that's what they are, right? It's like Ghost is the keeper of our ghost. She's really like the keeper and the guardian, in a sense, of the lost parts that we have banished, far, far, far away from us. Parts of us that we locked away in a dungeon, the parts of us that we did not want to face, the painful memories that we did not want to face. It was because, especially before we could even rationalize as adults, right? Especially we received these wounds from when we were kids. It's like processing that painful memory would mean processing and actually feeling the feelings from that part of us that felt unloved and rejected and unworthy and not enough. Because at the time, it's like we couldn't really understand and disconnect us from whoever is doing us harm, right? It's like we couldn't rationalize and be like, oh, it's because they had wounds and they did this and blah, blah, blah. But it was more because but we weren't able to process that. So we just take it upon ourselves and blame ourselves for everything and just carry this existential burden. So that's Ghost. That's one of the cards from Way of the Panda Oracle. And if you saw I actually haven't posted my other vlog, my first vlog. This is technically my second one. Actually, I filmed have you seen that meme where a girl puts her hair back and then she realizes what she's done, so then she does this? I'm constantly in that crisis, not gonna lie. So cute. I can probably do some cute magic stuff with this because it looks like a cauldron. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was designed to look like a cauldron, But yeah, that's Ghost. I'm probably gonna edit this video and post it just because it's Halloween soon. And then you're gonna see my next vlog, which will be next weekend, or maybe the weekend after, depending. And it will be about the Panda Hero Academy update. You don't know what that is, but you will. You will find out soon. I might change the name. Originally, I wanted to name it League of Pandas, because it's like a league of superhero pandas. But now that it's like an academy, and you're gonna catch this update soon, I should hold a panda while I talk. Right, now that it's an academy, right, now that the setting is different, like the conceptual context of this is different, I might change the deck name. I don't know if I should just call it Panda Hero Academy or the League of Pandas, or call the book A Guide to the Panda Hero Academy. I don't know. We will see. We will see. There are 3 more villains. I was going to mention their names before I got majorly derailed, but I guess it needed to come through because that's what I feel like speaking about at the moment. So I'm just trying to be a carefree girl. You know what I mean? Cringe! So other than Ghost, there's 3 more villains in this deck. And these 3 villains are like personal shadows that I've confronted and gotten to know and befriended. Other than Ghost, there's also the Jokester. This is sort of like a hybrid of the clown archetype, or sort of like being the class clown as a coping mechanism to hide your loneliness because any attention is better than no attention. This is a mixture and a hybrid of that, and also the people pleaser and the performer. Because sometimes we betray our own boundaries and end up being a clown in front of other people just to get them to like us. So it's like a hybrid of that, and it's kind of like an expanded archetype of the clown archetype, or the trickster, not the trickster, the jokester archetype, I would say. And then there's also Seraphina. She is the vampire queen, and I'm not going to tell you anything about her. And then there's Tuxedo Noir. I will say he is inspired by Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon. There is a magical girl panda in this, and all the characters, they sort of have their own backstories and relationships going on. Like, for example, Tuxedo Noir is sort of like scandalous, infamous, like thief. And he's got a bit of Robin Hood vibe. Like, he's like, his moral grounds are a little gray. Like, he's not completely bad. He's not completely good either. He's not exactly a dutiful, lawful citizen, if you know what I mean. His love is obviously Darling, the magical girl panda. And he also has another, this is like a love triangle, maybe. They have a lot of tea around, like, there's just a lot of, like, tea and gossip around these 3. Right, there's Darling, the magical girl panda, because she's Sailor Moon, and there's Tuxedo Noir, inspired by Tuxedo Mask, and then there's Shirley Holmes, which is inspired by Sherlock Holmes, and she's a detective, and she obviously has her missions and her powers and such, but they kind of have like a love triangle going on, or just people would like to think that they have a love triangle just because of the way they're situated, but Tuxedo Noir, like, I think his true love. I don't know if I'll change the story, but this is how the story is coming to me right now. His true love is always Darling, the magical girl panda, because he just loves her, okay? It's just no, okay, a lot of people think he might have a thing with Shirley Holmes, just because she's always on his tails, but I can just tell you who his true love is, okay? It's Darling, it's the magical girl panda. And that's that, okay? Maybe I shouldn't have told you that, and then you guys can gossip alongside, like, all the other pandas that gossip about them. Maybe I shouldn't have told you, you know, to keep the mystery, but maybe I will edit this part out and you would never know. But yeah, those are my villain pandas. There's tons of other pandas in this deck, and I'm so excited. I was coming up with, like, their official title. Some pandas have their names as their official title. So their official title is not like their name by birth. Their title is kind of like their heroic title, is what they're known for. It might give you a glimpse of what their power is, what their essence is, what their light codes, like, you know, them as a light worker, what's their main mission, their main purpose. It will give you kind of just immediate insight into what kind of, like, hero they are. Because I was, like, naming them, and then I wanted to name the underworld shadow work panda Hades, because I've just been calling him Hades, but then I was like, Hades has associations with Greek mythology, and I didn't really want that to be in my deck. I know I made some other mild pop culture references too, such as like Tuxedo Noir and also Shirley Holmes. I might honestly change her name as well, because I don't want it to be like, I don't want it to be too on the nose, you know. I want to have like slight hints of like, this is where I draw my inspiration from, but I also don't want it to be like, this is just the panda female version of this character. Like, I don't want that. And I want the titles, or the heroic titles that they have, to be very self-explanatory. This is why I changed Hades to Shadow, because that's really who he really is. He is the Shadow. He's the Shadow Orc Panda. He's the guardian of our lost selves. He's the king of the underworld, and that's why I named him Hades. I've always wanted to call him Hades. He's still Hades in my heart. I might just mention that in the guidebook, but the official card, like, deck title is gonna be like, shadow, because as soon as you see that, you understand what it means. You understand on an archetypal level what this panda is calling you to understand. And this is something that I learned from just years of being a decorator, because sometimes I can get really creatively headstrong and I just want to like name something because I want it, or I want to make something in this way because I want it, and I don't give a shit about what other people think. And I think it's absolutely crucial and necessary to maintain that as a creator. You want to have your own creative agency. You don't want to like pander to the crowd too much, otherwise you lose your identity, right? But at the same time, something that I learned, or something that I discovered, that becomes like, that sort of became like one of the values that I have as a creator in putting work out, is like sometimes I want to create something and there's times when I decide that, okay, the paper specs are going to be this, or the color is going to be this, or it's going to be like this. It's because it's for me. It's for my personal self-expression, and it cannot be any other way. I don't care what people say. Even if it's in the minority, I will create it in that way because that's just an expression of who I am. So there's that. But there's also instances where I want to get a message out, and how that takes shape is a little less important than what pleases me as a person. For example, when I made Align Heart Affirmations Oracle, I just wanted to make a candy inspired pastel macaroon, like cute soft deck for a soft girl, you know. But it's actually like, what I really want with this deck is I want affirmations to be out there. I want the affirmations to be helping people. And I found out that a lot of people was kind of put off by the pastels because not everyone is into pastels. Understandable. So I was like, wow, like that sucks, because I love the pastels, but what I want even more is to gift this deck to people who need it. Not for free, because I'm a business. And it costs money to print. But as in like, I want the messages to be more accessible, and the pastels are getting in the way of that. So in that regard, I might adjust the course of my like the creative journey, and I might want to make a different decision, because I'm considering printing an obsidian edition for Align Heart. I know most people are just calling it Heart Align because of the way the titles are placed. I might change that, so yeah, I'll tweak it. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I want to print an obsidian edition with all black cards, maybe, just so that it's more people will want to own this deck and really benefit from the affirmations I've written, because based on the reactions I'm getting, I think it's making a name of like being the affirmation deck for people who hate affirmations. Sometimes I just find, well, I used to find a lot of affirmations really cheesy and unrealistic. I'm just like, I'm not feeling positive right now. I can't really talk myself into feeling positive, but really what we need is more honest affirmations that reflect our struggles of feeling positive. And then once we sort of hold that space for emotional honesty to come through, we can actually create changes, because it's from a place of self-acceptance, not trying to fake it until you make it. This is one of the reasons why I really hate saying fake it until you make it. It's like, I can't fake it until I make it. I'm gonna be like, make it and not fake it, and then I'm gonna make it. So that's kind of my philosophy. But yeah, so I got completely derailed, but everything is still about my decks and the decks I'm creating. So this still counts like as a deck creator vlog. Alright, hope you guys are having a happy Halloween, a happy Samhain, and hope you're having a swell witchy time with whatever it is that you're working on. And remember, you can wear pink on Halloween. It doesn't have to be dark and spooky. It could be cute and spooky. I don't know. It could just be a cute Halloween, right? Okay. Alright, bye. That's it. See you next time. Happy Halloween.